These are my top 3 tips for all entrepreneurs and business owners. I'm Nikita and I simplify your journey by sharing my journey. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 20 years. That's right, 2 decades. During this time, I have learned so much, but these are the top 3 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today. I was recently invited to be a guest speaker at a grammar school where they were doing a careers fair, and they asked me to present my ideas about the tips that I would offer young people who are thinking about going into entrepreneurship or self-employment. Here's what I said. Number 1, say yes and then figure out how later. Now, so many people listening to this might be thinking, gosh, that sounds really uncomfortable, but actually this is what I did. 20 years ago, I was a solopreneur. I was a solo performer. That meant that I was invited to perform dance at people's events on my own. But one day, out of the blue, I got an inquiry from a couple who were getting married in Scotland. Now, I live in England, and they asked me if I would provide a dance group for their event. And I was like, no, I can't, because I'm a solopreneur, I'm a solo performer. I can come and perform for you by myself. And they said, no, we've got a big stage, it's a lovely big hotel venue, and we've got a lot of people coming and we need a group. Please, could you put together a group? And at first I panicked and I thought, no, this is not going to be possible. But then I said yes. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just said yes. I did not want to lose this opportunity because this client was willing to pay for our flights, our hotel, and a very generous fee as well. So I thought this is a really good opportunity for me to build up a group. Now, this was 20 years ago when there was no social media, there was only broadband internet. And so marketing and promoting for new dancers to recruit them was next to impossible. So I decided to go leafleting at local schools in my area. I approached grammar schools, I stood outside some schools, I don't think you can do that nowadays, but I handed out leaflets, I went to community notice boards, and I think I even put an advert in a newspaper. Now remember, I'd already said yes to the client, the wedding event was fast approaching, and I had the responsibility of not only recruiting a group but also choreographing for them, preparing costumes. You know, it was all so new to me and I was so young myself, but I said yes and I did it anyway. So I ended up organizing an audition day. I hired a local community hall. I auditioned, about 50 people came actually. It was a very good turnout, and out of them I selected 10 dancers. Those 10 ended up becoming my core group. We went to Scotland, we performed. It was a fantastic venue, lovely event, really beautiful audience. We videoed that and then ended up using that as promotional material, and my group ended up getting booked all the time. You know, there was a time when we were doing 3 or 4 events a week, just because I said yes to that initial phone call. So my first piece of advice for any entrepreneur, whether you're just starting up, whether you're in business for a while, the best thing to do is say yes and figure out how later. Now, number 2, this is where things start getting really exciting. The second piece of advice is to build your personal brand. Now, what do I mean by that? People buy from people. You've heard that so many times, but it's really true. People only resonate with the person behind the brand. It doesn't necessarily matter what you're selling, but it's who you are that's selling it. So in my case, as I said, there was no social media, there was limited internet, and yet still I was able to build up my brand so that when I decided to diversify into other areas, the same clients came with me. So for example, from dance, I went into yoga teaching. Then I went into Reiki treatments. Then I went into NLP coaching, and now I deliver Dharma programs. So along that whole journey, so many people have come with me. And why is that? That's not because of the modality. It's not because of the services. It's because of me. And that's what you can do with your personal brand. It's about showing up, posting regularly online, and really communicating with people what it is you're passionate about. Like, what is it that, lights you up? And that brings me on to the third thing. You have to do what lights you up. You have to be selling a product or a service that you're passionate about. So many entrepreneurs go into business because they think it's easy. They like the flexible work-life balance. They want to work around their children, etc. That's not a good enough reason to go into this. It's got to be something that you would really enjoy doing, even if you didn't get paid for it. I know that sounds a bit out there, but you've got to love it so much that if you don't get paid, because in the beginning you might not, they always say it takes 3 to 5 years to build up an established business. So during that time, you might just be breaking even. And therefore you've got to be so passionate that you don't hold any resentment when you're working with clients or when you feel that you're not getting what you deserve. It's so important that you show up authentically, you're sincere, and you give the very best of yourself, because that's the way you're going to retain clients, and that's how you're going to be recommended as well. So retaining and recommendations are the key to getting repeat customers. So I hope this has helped. Just to recap the 3 tips, they are: number 1, say yes before you know what you're doing or how you're going to do it. That's going to give you that little bit of external pressure to really push yourself and to make it happen. Number 2, build up your personal brand. Even if you're self-employed or employed for that matter, you can still be showing up online. You can be commenting on other people's posts. You can be engaging with pioneers in your field, influential figures. It's about visibility. It's digital networking. That really is the way forward. And number 3, the most important thing, make sure you only ever focus on selling a product or service that you're very passionate about, because passion, it's energy, it's contagious. You'll feel it. I'm sure that you're feeling it right now in this video with me. I'm so passionate about this topic of taking people from karma to dharma. This is the journey that they go on with me. It's about transitioning from patterns and programming to peace and purpose. If you would like to know more, visit the link below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Namaste.